Why young Goku always got his damn dick out? Nigga, put some clothes on, bro. Damn, I can't even talk about his nose for real, because my shit look just like his. What the fuck?
What's going, what's good? Put 3.5 in the backwood.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. The fuck? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be watching Dragon Ball GT Almost Went Digital. This interests me. I saw it pop up on my timeline on YouTube, and this interested me because Dragon Ball GT has that old nostalgic ass. Like, I love the art for Dragon Ball GT. I love the way it was animated. So if they saying it almost went digital, and what, GT came out in like 95, 96, 97? I want to say one of them 3 years. Or it ended around them years. Because GT started right after Z ended. So it still has the old school look. But you telling me it almost went digital though? So that's what we're here today for. This video was made by Forgotten Relics. And let's get into it. Shout out Forgotten Relics for the video. And yeah, let's go.
Imagine if Dragon Ball GT didn't end in 1997, continued on, and
So it ended in 97. So that means it started in like 95, I think. Or 94.
around its 80th episode, it just changed to digital coloring. Well, that's what almost happened to GT, as many of Toei's anime were doing just that in the late 90s. 7 months earlier, Gegege no Kitaro, boom, switches over mid-season. And only 5 months after GT's Gegege no Kitaro, boom, switches over mid-season.
Hold on.
7 months earlier, Gegege no Kitaro,
March 30th.
switches over mid-season.
Wow. I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but you can see it though. That's kind of crazy. Just randomly mid-season they changed it. Wow.
And only 5 months after GT's last episode, there wouldn't be a single Toei TV anime series being painted on cells anymore, with one of their detective shows being the last to switch. Mid-season as well. And the series that lit one of their detective shows being the last to switch. Mid-season as well.
I love that old school look, bro. Not even this, because this is digital, but the one that they showed before that. It's just something about it that makes you feel a way. I don't know how to explain it.
Detective shows being
like, look at, it's something about the color grading. I think it's like the color grading and just the shading of it. I don't know how to explain it, but I love that shit, bro.
last to switch. Mid-season as well. And the series that literally aired the week after GT's last, same thing, all digitally
Arale?
painted now. Using
Dr.
Retaz
Slump?
Pro, you also have like CG effects in the opening and digital textures overlaid. They even did this merger in one of the endings of like 3D backgrounds with 2D stuff spliced in. Like, Toei were really jumping all into the digital wave in the late 90s, although I should say they were kinda leading the way alongside Studio Ghibli, being the first two major studios to change their coloring production pipeline to digital. And so it's undoubtedly what would have happened to Dragon Ball GT if it had continued on for just a few months more. And in some ways, we kinda got a glimpse at that strange what if timeline, because literally the next time we see Goku on screen, just a year and a half later for a Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball crossover special mini arc thing that lasted several episodes.
Why Goku always got his damn dick out? Why young Goku always got his damn dick out? Nigga, put some clothes on, bro. Every time we see young Goku, he always got his dick out. Damn.
There he is.
But that is crazy.
Definitely a bit of an ass.
They made his face more rounder with the digital cut with the digital. Wow. And it's a little more brighter. He's not black anymore either. He ain't got his tan no more.
Change up. On a side note, they both had the same character designer, but I kind of prefer this one. Less shiny highlight.
I mean, I get it, yeah. It's not as as I get what he's saying. I just prefer the older look. I'm not gonna lie. That might just be my nostalgia taking place.
And the simpler shading style reminds me of OG Dragon Ball, although let me know which design you prefer in the comments. But it isn't just the coloring process that changed, because the directors don't hold back on testing out new CG effects. Like there's this one part where Goku transforms into a great ape.
That's nasty. That's
And they
disgusting.
add this
No.
digital morphing effect. The result
Ew.
speaks for itself. Like if Goku going Super Saiyan 4 happened only a year or two later, guaranteed someone would have done the same. Dodged a bullet there. Now for Toei's
Yeah, because that shit looked nasty. Ew.
films, they actually did stick to cells for a bit longer. It was just all the TV shows that had switched. However, even in them, you are starting to see the most random CGI stuff layered in now. And fun fact, the film I'm showing was directed by one of Dragon Ball Z's top directors, Shigeyasu Yamauchi, who also directed the first two Broly movies as well as Fusion
It's
Reborn.
my goat, Broly. Broly is my favorite character. Who's y'all favorite character? Let me know in the comments.
So it's clear that Dragon Ball Z's former staff were definitely not worried about adding CG into their work, and I have no doubt if a Dragon Ball film did come out in this time, the same thing probably would have happened. Also, for context, everything I've just said is mainly in reference to just the coloring process being digitized, not the actual animation one. As I detailed in the last video, pencil and paper, it's still used to this day, and all of the animators at Toei would have still been using it then, and the transfer over to using drawing tablets was incredibly slow. The majority of 2D animation from the 2000s and 2010s was done on paper, including shows like Dragon Ball Super. Backgrounds, art as well remained hand-painted in Toei shows. I mean, you can still find traditional painted background art even now in their current big titles. So yeah, please don't confuse with what I've said so far, as everything going digital. But yeah, Retaz Pro, it kind of just swept the cell process away in Toei's TV anime. This software actually existed in 1993, originally was just for business use.
The publisher posted on their website that it was actually 91, although I've seen tech websites in the wiki say 93. Celsius also note that Toei began using it in 93 while the wiki says 96, which makes more sense. So the dates out there are conflicting.
Toei then bought it in 1996, and in a few years it becomes the industry standard, then sort of died in 2015, Clip Studio Paint becomes its successor, although a lot of studios just still kept using good old Retaz Pro anyway. Now back to GT, it really makes me wonder how a switch over in Medium would have affected the reputation. Back to GT, it really makes me wonder how a switch over.
Jesus fucking Christ, look at Vegeta's nose. Am I tripping or did his nose look fat as fuck right here? God damn. His nose looked fat as shit right here. Am I tripping? Damn, his shit kind of look like mine. Damn, I can't even talk about his nose for real because my shit look just like his. What the fuck?
Medium would have affected the reputation of the series.
crazy.
If it did hypothetically continue on just a little longer. Would it have been a Hunter x Hunter 99 situation where fans are like, the TV series looks amazing, but ignore the Greed Island OVAs, they kinda look terrible and don't exist. I guess in that timeline I'd be here making a why did GT's style suddenly change video or something, but with that, thanks for watching. I was looking into Toei's production history for the zoography part in the last video and came across a lot of interesting info, so thought I'd share some of what I didn't get to say there here instead. Also, thank you to my patrons, and I'll see you later. Well, a lot later this time. Imagine if
What the fuck? You want to talk about it? Why is Goku's cheeks on the screen, gang? Anyway, that's it for this video. I enjoyed. This was a good video. I didn't know all that. So if GT would have ran for a little bit longer, it would have went digital too. I wonder if it would have went digital, if, like he said, if Super Saiyan 4 would have been animated all weird like that ape shit. That's what I wonder. Yeah, or you think the OGs in the studio still would have been like, nah, fuck them. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. But that's it for this one. Shout out to Forgotten Relics for the video. This was Dragon Ball GT Almost Went Digital. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Be blessed, stay safe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. Why is Goku's ass still on my screen, bro?
See, if I snuck up in your bedroom, touch you while you sleep, would you act surprised as if you didn't know it's me?